you today?
I'm doing all right, exhausted. This is my 5th shift Picket Captaining, so I'm done. I'm
Fifth
done.
shift today?
No, not today, good lord. I mean, like, the past 4 days. I'm ready for a break.
I can imagine. What is it, like 3 o'clock right now?
Yeah, it's about 3. I'm a little tired, and just because my voice is dead.
Wait, what's your name, by the way?
Sorry, Joshua Chinwa Kam.
Joshua Chinwakan. Awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about, so your voice is kind of low right now, which is understandable. You've been yelling.
Yeah.
What has been your impression on picketing so far? Like, has it been fun?
It's invigorating to be near the eye of, not even to be like right in the center of the action on one hand. I think there's a lot of, what's nice about captaining is that you kind of get to feed off the energy of people around you.
So you're a captain?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Things that's challenging is, so on one hand there's all that energy that you can get by being kind of in the center of things. I think there's a part that's exhausting as well because you obviously don't get to pick the sites, and some of the sites are more energy and some of them are there for like social media presence rather than like waving to people on the street.
Oh, so tell me a little bit more about that dimension.
Yeah, for instance on State Street all the way down, as it has been in decades past, I'm sure. It's a popular street, people pass it all the time. We hand out flyers, there are always cars like beeping in support as they pass.
Right, yeah.
In some of the places, like in front of Schlissel's house, it's kind of empty.
Right.
And,
so that's like a more social media minded one?
Yes.
Okay.
It's there rhetorically to say something to Schlissel, who isn't even in the house because he's in freaking California.
Oh.
What a holiday place to choose right now. What a dumpster. I mean, the whole country, but especially California right now. But, yeah, I think our presence was felt, and I'm glad we did it.
Right.
It's definitely more exhausting than high morale places like around Rackham or elsewhere.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So you're a picket captain. Have you served any other sort of like kind of odd job roles here? Or has it been mainly the picket lines for you?
Mainly the picket lines. I help a bit with packing and unpacking at the end of the day sometimes.
Essential.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's really about it. I haven't done too much. I'm a week and a half old member, so.
Really? So this is your first year then?
No, it's my second year, but my first year in the union.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that dimension of it, like how you got involved with GEO and that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, I joined the union basically when I got a GSI. My fellowship funding got pulled, and so I had to look for a GSI position. I got it, thankfully.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then I dipped out of it 2 weeks later. So it's an interesting place. I remember on like Monday really freaking out about whether I should or shouldn't. Like obviously in theory I knew I shouldn't scab.
This past Monday, last week?
Yeah, this past Monday.
Okay.
Not today. And then on Tuesday, and like the strike was called, I freaked out, and then at some point you just say fuck it.
So yeah, sort of tell me about your internal thought process, because at the beginning I was also like, I can't mobilize that quickly.
Right.
And then I did.
Right.
So how did it work for you?
I think at some point you pick a lane and you just kind of run it down as far as it goes. I called a lot of like older GEO members and like other grad students, and like we talked me down. I did feel vulnerable, right? Because I'm a master's student, not a PhD.
Same.
Okay, what's your department?
Urban and regional planning.
Nice. So I think that moment was really quite terrifying on one hand.
Right.
But at the same time, I think there really is strength in collective action.
Mm-hmm.
I think I should put my money where my mouth is.
Right.
I've talked myself into a rhetorical trap because I'm like just an annoying smoked salmon communist, so it's not even a good thing. And so I figured, well, at which point I might as well, just because there are numbers on our side. And
right. Strategically, it is the option, right?
Like
now.
I know, like I can talk about like the big picture things of why we should do them, but I guess I'm like talking about my own thought processes, like in the moment. Kind of once you're in the pillbox, it feels very different.
Yeah.
Once you've just kind of committed, you're like, oh well, fuck it.
Right. So there's like the ideological component to it, like I'm here for the platform, and then there's also the strategic component to it, like there is no utility in stopping now, right? So tell me about You're a master's student.
Yeah.
Do you think that that particular dimension sort of factored into your anxiety about joining the strike? Or
Definitely.
Speak more to that.
For one thing, I'm still fairly new. I just started teaching. There was a lot less protection for master's students by and large.
Right.
Geo doesn't always reach out to us because for a variety of reasons, they don't always get the GSI list. I mean, you know this bullshit. So
Right.
on one hand, this is really challenging on the union side, and it's also challenging for us to feel included. I know master's students who have like either pulled out or abstained from the voting because they feel either not repped or they don't feel safe enough to do so, and I can resonate with that in a way. I also was aware of my own like positionality. I have good rapport with my department.
That's good. What's your department, by the way?
I'm in Southeast Asian Studies.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I only have a year, but at the same time, I do not have a PhD here. In some ways, there's a bit less to lose. If the worst case scenario, I get kicked out of here, and I just apply for a PhD program.
Right. Yeah. So you're one of those people where masters for now, potentially PhD, or sort of deciding.
It has to be a PhD. There's nothing I can fucking do with a master's in this. But yeah, that's a hope.
Cool. So your energy moving forward with the strike. Tell me sort of where your mind's at, where you are emotionally. Obviously, your voice is a little bit shot right now, but
just a little bit. But emotionally, I think at this point, I'm not feeling as much the way I did say after Wednesday night and Thursday. And like that electric energy that was just surging through campus. It was there. I felt it. Today's Monday. We're gonna have to rebuild momentum. People have rested. Some people have burnt themselves out. I think there's almost like an almost Taoist sense of like you just do the thing. You just do the thing. I can get into the emotions sometimes, but right now I'm not tapping into that. I just want my body to lead the way.
It's out of duty at this point, kind of, or just
not even duty. I feel I want to let the current of my body push me along.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
Nice.
The mind will follow.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's good.
On a good day.
Right, and it's hard to have continuous good days in a row, right? And that's a big part of this is we all sort of have to maintain high energy here, but just being human, it's kind of tough to do that for anything in particular.
But I think there's also that aspect of like, especially for like queer and LGBT bodies, there's always a sense of performance. We are expected to perform, and we're used to this. And so in that sense, I think it's almost easy to fake it because it is expected, even in like say, the back of the house in a kitchen or in a restaurant, you're expected to somehow be more upbeat and more vibrant, or you know the drill. It's exhausting. But at least we're a little bit more used to it than I would say straight people who aren't as used to this. I mean, POC are the same way. At least in America, you have to sell yourself the way you do, and choice words there.
That's a good point to emphasize, a sort of performativity.
And I'm okay with the performance because I think everything is a performance.
Right.
I think everything is a little bit of a circus, and it's bullshit, but at the same time, if it keeps morale up, I'm okay with that.
Right. And moving forward, your motivation level, even though your energy level, it could be on a gradient, your motivation is still there, right?
Well, I'm on this ship if it sinks or it swims, so I think now is not so much enthusiasm as desperation.
Okay. That's real.
We're going down with this.
Right. Anything you want to close on? Any ending thoughts?
No. Thank you so much for this chat.
Of course. Thank you.